All right, ready to do this? Ready to join me for these videos? All right, the lovely Rosebud is joining me for episode 2. So episode 1, we had all the games that we started off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 14 sealed, well, they're not all sealed, but WADA or VGA graded games. And I said I would introduce this episode with kind of the rules of what we're going to do. Okay, so we're trying to collect every single NES game in a graded quality, whether it's WADA or VGA. I think there's 671 of them. And the rules are, though, we're going to try to get as many as possible in a sealed version, but some of these, like the Mario Brothers and things like that, are like $10,000 or whatever, and Rose won't let me, she won't let me spend $10,000 on a single game. It's crazy. So the idea is probably trying to get like 80% of these things sealed, and then the last few as some kind of complete in-box version. And I might start off by, if I get a good deal on a complete in-box version, I'll buy it, and then we'll follow up with a sealed version. We're trying to spend like $500 or less per game, because there's 671 of them, and at $500, that's $335,000. So, but of course, there's a bunch of these things that are like $100 a game, and I bought some that were like $75 for a sealed game. So a ton of these things won't be up that max. But then there'll be a few that we go above the max. I just bought that Battletoads for $1,100 earlier today. But so we got some expensive ones in there. Obviously, number 9 on the way. Family of 8 at this point. I got a really cool coronavirus ponytail here. This is a year in the making. I have usually a military cut. So moment in time here, right? A moment in time of where we're at in life here. Number 9 is on the way. We have 8 wonderful Yep. We have 8 wonderful children, right?
Rambunctious.
I mean, no, they're like all the time, super well behaved, just like on the money.
Angelic.
Exactly. Yes. We love them all. We love them all, and they behave all the time, and we never have any problems with them. So we thought we'd just keep having kids, right? So I think part of the cool thing will be this is going to take years to complete. We're going really fast early on because we're picking up some of these kind of the easy games. But then as the time goes by, we're going to have less and less. It's just going to be harder and harder to get the games. Because right now we're picking up like dance aerobics for like $80 and these crappy games that nobody wants, that there's a bunch of copies on eBay for. But then I mean, today I watched, what game was it? Goonies 2. I think it sold for like $6,000 or something. So that's going to be a hard one. It's going to be a little hard to get that game in a complete or a sealed version, because it wasn't even a mint version of it. Like, from my understanding of WADA grading, it would have got like an 8.0, which isn't great. But anyway, so Rose is going to open up the boxes, open up the game, introduce the game, and then I'm going to add it to the collection and any feedback I have on the game from my history back in the day. But we got to start off with the rules. So quickly, the rules of kind of what we're doing. We're trying to collect every game. Again, we're trying to get them all sealed. Some of those games we're not going to be able to get sealed because they're going to cost too much. So the kind of goal is maybe we can get like 80% of these things sealed, right? So like maybe 500 sealed games, and the last 100 and something, the most expensive 100 and some, we're going to get as complete in box. We're still going to have them graded. We're not going to count them unless they're graded. We're going to collect a bunch of these. Will be just kind of sealed versions that we're going to send into WADA, and then we'll just see how far we get, and we'll see how many kids we have by the time we finish this thing. We're not going to stop until it's done. So let's start. And this is going to be, usually I'm thinking at most, I don't know, like 7 to 10 games per episode. But to start this thing off, because this is the first of our unboxing episodes, we're just going to go with all these. There's probably like 15 plus games in this. I know one of these boxes is pretty good. The last box, we're going to save that. I know what's in there, or at least I just kind of roughly know what's in there. I don't remember the exact names of the games, but I know it was some good games. I just bought a bunch of other games from this guy today. So we got to open this thing up because I just paid for them. I want to make sure there's not like fake games in there and stuff, like they're actually real games. I probably should open them and check them before I pay for those games, but I basically bought some of my entire collection. So Numero uno.
King of the beach.
Kings of the beach. Volleyball. A little rough looking game. I think I didn't pay very much for this, obviously. This is one of those kind of low rated. To start out, this is a very poor one to start off the unboxing video. This is a pretty graphic game. Like nobody ever watching this that knows anything about video games is like, wow, that is a cool, I can't believe you got that game.
Why?
Yeah, like
why you do that again?
Yeah, like that's as bad as it gets for games. It's not even a really good one. So again, we started with, no, it was not expensive. Actually had to negotiate with this guy a lot. Like we had to go back and forth, like offering and then counter offer and offering and counter. I had to kind of let it sit and then offer him again. And I don't know what I paid for this thing, like $80 or something. But it does have the horizontal seam. The seal looks pretty good. You know, I always look at the corners of these things. That one's a little beat up, rounded. You know, again, this is not going to be graded high. If I'm looking at these games, I think this is going to be like a 6.5, maybe a 7.5. It's not a 9, it's not an 8. Obviously, the other thing is, we kind of ideally like to get like 8.0s and more, right? Because they go up to 10. Theoretically, I don't think I've ever seen a 10, but they go up to 10. So we'd love to get like 8.0s or higher. But we'll start off with whatever we can get our hands on. You know, the last episode we talked about some, and we have a 2.5, and look at this bad boy. Does that look mint to you? Looks like it just came right off the shelves in a Walmart or something? No, things beat to hell, right? So that's not a really good one. So that's the 2.5s. Again, if I'm comparing it to some of these, it's probably, well, that's actually the completed box one, but this is a 6.5. You know, that one's got the beat up corner. It's probably going to be somewhere around that 6.5. So Kings of the Beach doesn't count to add it to the numbers of our 14 because it's not graded, but it's a game that we didn't have before. All right, Heavy Rose. Is this in the same box as that guy?
Yep.
That's right. Okay, I think I did buy 2 boxes. Now this one actually is a lot better looking. Still got a little bit of a bent corner there, so it's not going to be a 9.
A little open on the back.
Yeah, a little bent, a little bit of a seal break there. I think I actually paid pretty high for this one, but
Sorry, you're coming on my.
yeah, there was a few different copies of this game on eBay, and I think I didn't pay like a crazy high. I mean, there were ones that were definitely more expensive, but it looks pretty good. Again, that one's gonna be higher, and this is like a 7.5. I'm guessing. You know, and we can guess. We'll have like an episode before we send like 10 games in at a time, and we'll guess the score, and then we'll do like a follow-up episode and see how close we are. Right? So that one's actually pretty good. I think that's a decent looking game. Again, it's not a 9.3 because it's got one bent corner here, and the seal is separate. So the condition of the box is one of the scores, and like they have it on here, and the seal is its own thing. So the seal's not going to be graded very high because of that rip, but the condition of the box is probably like a 7.5. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, the other corners actually look really good. Those 4 look really good. Those 2 look really good in this back one. So it's one of the 8 corners. Still not going to be graded super duper high, but oh, okay. Actually, this is the box. This is the super box. I had it in the wrong order. That's my bad. But we'll start off now with the really good one, right? This is the stuff I bought and the other stuff from the guy today. This is the best. So this is the premiere episode of unboxing because this here is the good box. So Terra. Oh, you can announce it. Can you say that? Can you say it?
Cresta.
Terra Cresta. Terra Cresta. This is a VGA graded version. Okay, it's 85 NM plus. I think that means near mint plus. It's a sealed game. Box looks really good. I mean, that's why it's an 85. I don't think I've seen anything higher than 90 for VGA. I think it's like an 85. It might be an 85 plus, and then it goes to 90, and then there's a gold seal and a silver. I'm not sure what the difference is yet. I don't know enough about them. But Terra Cresta, I bought this as an absolute. I love the guy. I bought his whole collection today. I love this guy. I don't know what the deal was because he sold me this. The sealed copy of this game sold for $700 and something like 2 weeks ago. I paid a fraction of that for this very good condition VGA graded version. I mean, I put this on eBay today. I'd put this for $1,500 or something, maybe $2,000. I wouldn't take less than $1,000, and that's way more than I paid for this thing. So this is This is a fairly rare game. This is, I mean, again, I sold a lot of these games back in the day. This is a rare game. This is an excellent quality version one. This is probably, of this collection so far, this is the premier piece. I mean, this thing is now the new, I mean, we had this bad boy, this crappy Infiltrator was the premier piece because it had a 9.2 A++ seal. Really bad game, but this absolutely takes the top. So here it is. Maybe we can kind of have that as a running best game running in, you know, most valuable game. So here is the new premier piece of our entire collection. Terra Cresta 85 Near Mint Plus or NM Plus VGA graded. There it is. Admire it. Admire it. I love it. Willow. Do you remember the movie Willow?
I remember parts of it.
Right? It was like I don't know what the proper version, like a small person, and he was on some, a little person, and he had this night dude. This is a movie we watched it a bunch of times back in the 80s. So that guy, little person, he was on some mission to do something. Long ago on a time of magic and sorcery, an evil sorceress named Queen Bavmorda ruled the land under a reign of terror. Blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, the baby. A baby has been born who legend foretells will destroy the wicked ruler, but the queen vows to slay the child first. Now the villages of Nelwyn must band together to assist Willow, the child's chosen protector. That's right. He was protecting this little baby kid, this little baby, and I don't know I don't remember what he was doing with. He had to get it somewhere or something, but that was the movie. So this is based on a movie. This is another real expensive game that I'm not sure why the guy sold it to me as cheap as he did. I love this dude, but I saw this one sell for $700 this weekend. Didn't pay $700 for this version, and that was a regular sealed version that wasn't in that great of shape. This is 80 plus NM sealed version, silver seal, US version and everything. Excellent. So that's a near second. So now we've added our top two games to our collection. That Terra Cresta, numero uno, and Willow, number 2. And just to keep this going, on these excellent. This box is amazing, right? And I think anybody watching this, if anybody's watching this to collect games at any point in time, they're gonna know what the heck we have here. Next one, ice hockey. I had this game when I was a kid. I got this so I bought this game from a friend of mine. I went to a little Catholic school, and I remember when I bought this game. So we went, and we had a couple dollars, and we went over to a local, I don't even know what it was. It was some really small shop, and they sold lottery tickets, like scratch off. And we were, I think we were in like 5th or 6th grade, and they sold us these scratch off tickets, and we won like $10 or something. That was it. And he was some really rich kid. He didn't care because his parents were super wealthy. And he sold me this game for my share of the lottery tickets winning. So I bought ice hockey as a kid in probably, oh boy, what is that, it must have been like 1992 or something. I bought this game from that kid. I remember, I bought this game from this kid. It was a pretty cool game. Actually, I really liked this game. I played this game a lot when I was a kid. I had like 10 or 15 Nintendo games. But I remember the story on how I bought this game. Now I have the sealed version. 20 something years later, after that day, life has been completed. As I was supposed to have you introduce the game. I did it myself. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, 85 NM Plus. Again, I really got to look into these ratings because that was an NM. Now we got an NM Plus, silver seal, ice hockey, horizontal seam. Game looks like it's mint. Just a beauty. I'd say this is probably, I don't know, this is number 1 or number 2. It beats Willow. I mean, there we go. Our top 3 games just came in this box. 14 games before, and now these 3 beat everything that we had before. Okay, can you say the name of this game here?
Master Chew and the Drunkard Who?
Yes, Master Chew and the Drunkard Who. The dumbest name of a game ever. So this is an unlicensed game. So what it means, so these licensed games, like you see this, it says here, official Nintendo seal of quality. Like this was licensed. Nintendo gave the company the authority to sell the game, and they paid Nintendo or something. And all the licensed ones, is my understanding, they have this horizontal seam. So when they created the box and they sealed it up, I think it was for like a theft deterrent. Okay, so if you had if I bought this game from Walmart or Woolsworth, if you remember Woolsworth, if you bought the game from one of those local stores, I could have opened the game and then taken the cartridge out and put in some crappy other game or something, and then resealed it. But because it had that horizontal seam, you couldn't reproduce that. Like, I think that was the reason they did that. And today, 35 years later, it's the reason why these games are worth so much money. Because of that seam that people can't reproduce. And there's versions of this. I just saw like today a Super Mario Brothers 2 came on the market, and they said possible reseal, and the seam looked like garbage. It looked like there's this really crappy version of somebody trying to duplicate it. So you knew, I mean, that is a crisp, clean, and this thing was like all bubbly and just kind of weird, and it was just their attempt to try to replicate the seam. So they even put in the title like possible reseal. It was absolutely a resealed game, and people paid way too much. So I think they paid like $300 for it, for a fake sealed game. But anyway, so this one here, and it even says it here, unlicensed NES game at the top. So what that means again is that they didn't get like Nintendo's blessing. They made a game. It's like your Keurig K-Cups, you know? There's the Keurig brand, and then there's like these crappy aftermarket versions of it. And they didn't get like Keurig's blessing to make those, and that's why Keurig kind of made that thing that tried to make it say this is not like an official K-Cup or whatever. Same deal, 30 years later or whatever. But so Master Chew and the Drunkard Who. So I bought this game, and I haven't opened it yet, so it's got to be one of these boxes. I bought it a long time ago. But I bought a sealed version of this game off of eBay that was kind of beat up, and like 2 days later, this guy sold me this game for literally the same price, like almost to the dollar, the exact same price, in a much better version, in a graded quality. So the first one, I would have never bought it had I bought this, so I was a couple days late on that one. But Master Chew and the Drunkard Who, 80 NM, silver seal, rare game. Again, we sold million-plus games back in the day, and I bet we probably sold less than 50 copies of this game in the 11 years we ran the business. So not a super common game. Color Dreams, we have that logo artwork downstairs. We should have brought the artwork up. Well, we'll bring it up for a later episode. But we have the actual logo of Color Dreams, the one and only bad boy downstairs. It's got to be worth something. So, I mean, look at that. I mean, again, this is now we're 1, 2, 3, 4. I bet those are the top 4 games we own right now. Sealed quality games. You take all these. There we go. We got the top 4. Well, let's save that one for last. Let's do this bad boy.
RoboCop.
RoboCop. You watched RoboCop, right? I think it was Sylvester Stallone. Did he play RoboCop? No, that was Judge Dredd, which is also a Nintendo game, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's a Nintendo game, or was it Genesis? It was definitely a Sega Genesis game, but I think it was both. RoboCop, VGA, 85 NM plus. I bet this is a pretty expensive game. I don't know. But any of those ones that were like movie based and everybody knows the name of the game, they're usually worth a lot of money. So this is obviously a sealed silver seal. Game looks excellent. I'm super happy to own this game. Again, when I bought these games from the guy, I don't know if he knew what he had. I think it might have been like I'm guessing it was some kind of like divorce scenario or something. It was like the wife was selling the husband's old games. They got in a divorce or something. Because if the person who sold me these games had any idea of the value of them, they would not have sold them to me for the dollar amounts that they sold them to me for. I mean, I gave them an okay offer, but I can definitely make some money off this. I'm not saying I'm going to make like 10 grand off of these 6 games or something crazy like that. But I probably got half of what he could have sold them for on eBay. So that's, well, man, where I said top 5 games we own right now. Top 5 sealed games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these other ones are garbage compared to the 5 that we just opened. So this is a really good unboxing, except for the beginning, except for Kings of the Beach to start the thing off. All right, and here it is. What is this bad boy?
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. This is one of those black box Kung Fu 85 plus. And what does that say underneath there? And what underneath that? Uncirculated. You know what that means?
Nope.
That means this game, when they sent this game over to VGA for grading, it had never been opened. Like they must have had like an unopened box. So we just bought the 6 unopened games, which we won't tell the game yet until a future episode here, but it's probably over here, but we bought a box of 6 unopened games. So if you take that and you send it over to a grading company and the box is unopened, then it gets this, or at least for VGA. I don't think WADA has the same thing. But for VGA, it gets uncirculated, which means this has like never been touched. They sent a box of, they usually come in a box of 6s. They sent it over to VGA and said, grade all 6 of these things. It's a gold seal, 85 plus NM, or 85 plus and NM plus uncirculated. So it never made it into the market. It just never got into it wasn't part of a store. It wasn't sold at Walmart. It literally came from the factory. So this is as good as it gets for video games. The new Numero Uno. I actually saw this game here on Heritage Auctions. I told you I just signed up for Heritage Auctions. That game,
Sealed?
it's sealed. Yep. So if it wasn't sealed, it would be like
Where's
this.
the seal?
Yep. So that one, it doesn't have that same seal as these other ones.
Okay, I was like,
So this one here says NM plus qualified. Qualified, so this has got a seal, but it's opened at the top. Qualified is when it says it's not sealed. This one says uncirculated. It doesn't say qualified, so it is truly sealed game. But so there we go. Our top 6, by far our most valuable game. I saw this one on Heritage Auctions today. I think it's up to $2,500, and that auction doesn't end for a day. I'm guessing this thing sells for the exact same game, the exact same version, and it's graded. Lesser number too, by the way. Not a gold seal, and I think it is VGA. I bet it sells, I'm gonna watch it, but I bet it sells for like $10,000. So, absolutely, new absolute top of the pyramid here, by far above everybody else, is that one. So that box right there, again, you couldn't have a better starting episode of the unboxing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, or what do we have? Yeah, 6. Like top 6 games that we own now, all came from one single box. That's good stuff, huh? Orb 3D. This sucker, gosh, this guy, what a bastard. I had to fight like a dog to get this game. Orb 3D, super common game. Not an expensive game. It's very common. A seal, but it's a 9.4 rating, which is really high. Okay, because they go from like, again, you see these 2.5s all the way up. So, that's cracked there. I'm gonna have to see if that guy meant that. Oh, we got a little crack on that seam there on that side. I don't like that one bit. This coming in a box, right?
Yep.
That was in a protected box. Oh, I don't know.
There wasn't. This was all that was in there, though.
Yeah, but
There was no bubble wrap.
I don't believe he mentioned this thing was cracked.
There wasn't any bubble wrap.
Again, it's the case. It still is what it is. It's still a 9.4. But I don't know how you would crack that in the box, though. Because that box doesn't look like it's beat up, right? It doesn't look like the post office just manhandled this thing. And it's got a little bit of a... But even still, I mean, man. Well, we'll throw that to the side. Now it counts. I mean, it counts as a game. It's a sealed game, but I will have to check the auction. Because I would have paid a little less if he had said, beat to hell box, cracked on the side. But whatever. What do we got? What do we got?
Fun House.
Fun House. You ever watch that show when you were a kid?
Nope.
No? You never watched it? I think it was Nickelodeon's Fun House. Based on the outrageous, unpredictable, and fun-filled TV game show. You're sure you never watched that, right? You never watched Fun House? I don't remember it. So the game was really bad, though. Like, it was a terrible replication of the actual TV show, and it was just some overhead whatever. But this one, another one that I was really haggling with somebody, he had 2 copies of this game. One was kind of beat up, and it was kind of silly, because so I'll tell you how much I paid for this one. I think I paid $200 even, shipped, for this game. But he had a really beat up copy I was negotiating him on, and he was like, no, I'm only gonna, like, I think he was asking like $220, and he wasn't gonna go under $180. And this one was asking like $299, and then I offered him $200 and he just took it. I'm like, really? You're gonna $20 more between a totally beat up copy and like a mint? This is a 9 point something. I mean, I couldn't tell you anything wrong with this. Seal looks, I probably shouldn't even be holding this with shouldn't even be holding this thing with my hands because it's so good. But nice seal, the corners are all perfect. This thing looked like it came right out of the box. Had I not touched it, now that I touched it, it's no longer uncirculated and I ruined it. But but that's a real good one. Doesn't count towards the water graded. And we'll have to get one of those little protective cases for it later. But I'm glad I bought that one and I didn't cheap it out on 20 bucks for the other one. Oh, okay, now here, so, and we'll get to this in the other episodes. I introduced it in the first episode that I have that original artwork for some of these games. King of Kings, I have the original artwork. Now this is actually, this version, there's two versions of this game, like the artwork for it. I don't have this one, I have the one with like the camel on the front. But that's actually the premier piece of artwork I have. Actually, no, it's the second best piece of artwork I have. Here is the best version. You recognize this picture here.
Yeah.
So Exodus, Journey to the Promised Land. That is our tip-top piece of artwork. Somebody give me any amount of money you want, I ain't selling it. Nope, we're gonna keep that bad boy forever. But that's right, so I bought this, it's just a good deal. And since I had the artwork for these games, I thought, what the heck? I don't think we have anything for Bible Adventures, actually. I think I made the biggest mistake and I did not buy that artwork. I think the lady had that, 11 years ago or something, or 12, 13, 14 years ago. And I think I was trying to haggle with her and she didn't, and then she ended up selling it to somebody else or something, I don't know. I think I had the opportunity and I blew it. I tried to save $100. Blew it. Bad move. Bad move. I could have sold that for who knows how much nowadays. Or kept it and just thought it was cool.
NES Play Action Football.
So this was one that I bid on. I remember this bidding. I bid on like a Sunday night, and I was kind of hoping I was going to lose the auction. So I was kind of hoping I was going to lose this one. It's a 3.5 NES Play Action Football. Box is pretty beat up. It's beat up. Obviously, it's 3.5, so it is what it is, right? Box is beat up. The corners are beat up. It's dented here. It does have a horizontal seam. There's a little wave going on in the back of the box. I mean, seal's a B+. This thing is not good by any means. I was hoping I lost it. My logic, though, was it costs like $60 to buy, or to grade it, and then you got to ship it to them. I don't know if you're going to ship it. I never sent anything to WADA yet. I'm assuming with taxes and shipping and whatever, like you're not paying less than 80 bucks to grade a game. And I basically paid that much for this. So I paid for the grading and the case, and the game essentially was free, or maybe I paid 10 bucks for the game or something. So I was kind of hoping I lost it when I bid. I don't know why I bid on it. I didn't have the game though. So whatever, we count it. It counts as one of the games. It's a sealed game. That's probably the last place game as far as the sealed book we have. So that did not really help our collection except for being able to record one as sealed. Oh, here we go. Here we go. You know this game. I'm assuming you play this game, right? I hope you play this game. Everybody on the earth has played this game. Have you not played it?
I recognize the game, like maybe at my cousin's we were gonna play it or something, but Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario. So it was these pills, these multicolored pills that fall. It's kind of like a Tetris. And they fall, and you match up the colors of the pills. And then like that part of the pill, I see it's like it's blue and yellow and red and blue and whatever. And you match up the colors and then it like disappears, kind of like Tetris. I don't know how many you have to get in a row. Dr. Mario's for an intense new challenge. Mario throws multicolored vitamin capsules, okay, they're not pills, they're vitamin capsules, into a bottle that contains an ugly variety of nasty viruses. Okay, actually, oh yeah, you have to get rid of the viruses that were in there too. That was it. The viruses, I think, were a certain color. So you watch some YouTube videos on this, it's pretty funny. Basically, the thing is this doctor is just shoving pills down somebody's throat, I think is how it works, in order to kill these viruses, like hundreds of pills. All right, you can move, shift, or spin a capsule. Spin a capsules as they fall. I don't think that's correct grammar. Shift or spin a capsules as they fall. That's a little interesting, and that's on the official. I mean, it's a fake game. I don't know if it's even real, because you think they would have gotten past like quality control. Arrange them to align with other capsules on top of the virus. If you can get 4 or more of the same color in a row, poof, they disappear. Destroy all the viruses in the bottle, and you progress to the next round where things get even more difficult. Play alone or enjoy simultaneous play, 2-player action.